I am dyspraxic and I read 7 books in 4 weeks. So I was diagnosed with dyspraxia in university, and part of this channel is about awareness and solutions on dyspraxia. So let's first talk about the books, and then let's address the relevance to dyspraxia. Now these books fit within the genre of self-development, smart thinking, and business. So let's begin with the books that I read. So the book Outliers was written by Malcolm Gladwell. In a sense, this book tells the story of success, and according to this book, the success equation is a complex one. So success could be predicated on many factors: genetics, education, location, connections, luck, parents, work ethic, strategy, etc. Outliers also advocates the 10,000 hour rule, and this is the premise that mastery is often achieved after 10,000 hours. I know what you're thinking. So you're telling me there is no magical formula to generate 10k a month in passive income with no skills, no effort, no money down, and a certified guarantee of your money back? No, that's the simple answer. Anyway, Malcolm's story of success is complicated, but it's an honest story. Now the book Snakes in Suits is written by Dr. Paul and Robert Hare. This book defines the psychopath in the work setting. It states corporate psychopaths get into companies through lies and charm. They, the psychopaths, are not team players. They're not team players, and they don't care about the rules. It states that corporate psychopaths build relationships with proficient workers with the objective of manipulating them to do their work. In my experience, psychopaths destroy people and companies. So my advice is to stay away from these dangerous people. And this book is a great reference for identifying a workplace psychopath. So the book Perennial Seller is written by Ryan Holiday. Now Ryan Holiday promotes Stoic philosophy. This book, however, has a slightly different context. This is about producing a piece of work that will last, that will stand the test of time. So here are some takeaway messages that I took, and I'll break it down in phases. Phase 1, have purpose, because this will bring resistance. Phase 2, you need to be the CEO, not just the creator. Phase 3, understand the power of marketing, particularly word of mouth. Phase 4, create a platform. And finally, phase 5, create an emailing list, as this is the direct line of communication with your customer. I think a lot of us desire making a long-standing piece of work, but I don't think a lot of us desire the process. But this book is a good reference to that concept. So the next book is Visual Thinking, which was written by Temple Grandin. Now there is a simple premise to visual thinking, which is the following. There are 2 types of thinkers, verbal and visual. And this book states that the American education system champions verbal thinkers. This book also asserts that visual thinking is an asset to society, even though visual thinkers are neglected in school. It also asserts that visual thinkers provide essential value to the marketplace. And there is this premise that visual thinking may have a link to certain types of neurodiversity. So this book makes me think of different learning styles and how society in the form of education benefits certain learning styles over others. In my mind, the educational system should include an additional visual learning system. So the next book is Millionaire Fastlane, and this was written by MJ DeMarco. Now this book promotes the idea that there are 3 types of people when it comes to money. So let me paint a picture, and let's break this down into phases. Phase 1, there are people on the sidewalk. This can be people on government assistance. Phase 2, there are slow walkers. These are people that save every penny, do a job, and invest in the stock market. And then finally, phase 3, there is the fast lane. This is someone that has a business and that have assets that grow exponentially. This book advocates taking the fast lane, and it has some specific advice on what the fast lane looks like. This provides some practical advice such as your business needs to solve a problem and bringing value to the marketplace. Now, if you're trying to start a business that you want to grow exponentially, this may be a good reference point. So the next book is The Lean Startup, which was written by Eric Ries. Apologies if there's been a mispronunciation. Anyway, I really enjoyed this book, and there are two messages that really resonated with me. So message one, you need to create a minimal version of your product, and you need to take the product to market and collect feedback, and this will improve your product immensely. And message two, create a pivot if necessary. So let's say you have a business that was generating 5k a month, but now your business model has subsided and now you're making considerably less. If you're in this situation, consider pivoting to something else. This could be consulting, teaching, developing a new prototype, etc. You have to change if things are not working. I have used the pivoting advice to my advantage, and this book has helped me in my business journey. Now, the final book is The Motivation Myth, written by Jeff Hayden. The premise of this book can be broken down into the following phases. Phase 1. Motivation is the result of the process, not the requirement of the success. Phase 2. The key to staying motivated is to enjoy small successes. And finally, phase 3. If you achieve your task each day, you'll feel like a winner. So let's give an example. Let's take Sally. She walks 10,000 steps a day and she always achieves this goal. This makes her feel like a winner. It creates a process, and the byproduct is that Sally loses 10 pounds. Now, what I get from this book is that it's about momentum, not motivation. To put another way, momentum is a more reliable fuel source. Now, in a society that craves motivation, this is an important message. So these are the books I read, but now let's talk about dyspraxia. Dyspraxia can present challenges in reading, so that's a premise that I'm presenting. So how do we overcome these challenges? Well, first we need to distinguish our learning styles, and our learning style can be the following. We can be visual learners, we could be auditory learners, we could be read or write learners, or we could be kinesthetic learners. So how do we find out what type of learning style we have? Well, there is a free online tool called the VARK questionnaire, and this can give us awareness. So this is good for awareness, but how do we process information on how to implement this? Well, we can use different applications like Audible, Blinkist or YouTube, as these can stimulate different learning styles. And I read 7 books in a month using Blinkist, which is a book summary service that I find very effective. So here is some practical advice with regards to dyspraxia and reading. I'm going to break this down into phases. So phase 1, break text into chunks. Divide reading material into smaller sections. Use a ruler or finger to guide your eyes, focusing on one line at a time. This can help reduce being visually overwhelmed, and it can improve comprehension. Phase 2, use audiobooks and or text-to-speech software. Supplementing reading with audiobooks or text-to-speech software, listening while reading can enhance understanding, retention of the actual material. And finally, phase 3, practice with interactive tools. Utilize apps and tools designed for reading difficulties, programs that highlight text, adjust font sizes, or change background colors can make reading easier and more engaging. I would also suggest looking into speed reading, as this may provide additional benefit to your reading experience. Now, these strategies can help manage visual and cognitive challenges associated with dyspraxia, making reading a more enjoyable and a more effective activity. Now, if you want to support the channel, like, subscribe and share on your digital networks.